In CloudConnexa, the connection authentication or Connect Auth feature manages how and when users are prompted for their account credentials during connection attempts. While every connection is authenticated using a digital certificate embedded within the user's profile, the Connect Auth settings provides an additional layer of security by determining if and when users must enter their account credentials. By default, this parameter is set to on prior auth timeout, meaning users won't be prompted for credentials within 12 hours following a successful authentication. You as an admin can adjust this setting to require credentials for every connection or to bypass credential prompts entirely. It is important to note that the Connect Auth policy applies exclusively to user device connections and does not affect connectors. So let's go ahead and take a look, see how we can configure the settings or change the settings, and we can look at the user experience as well. So if we look at the user group, I already have some groups configured here. Some they have Connect Auth set to no, some to every time, and some to default on prior auth timeout. So in order to change the settings, we can just choose the user group. For example, here I'm going to choose my European users, and then we can see that the Connect Auth is on prior auth timeout. So I'm going to click on edit, and then here under Connect Auth, we can click on drop down and change it. So if we choose no, basically we're going to bypass the credentials requirement. So users don't have to type the credentials. And if you choose every time, every single time a user's attempt to connect, they need to enter their credentials. So here I'm going to choose every time, and then I update group. So now all my European users, they have to enter their credentials every single time they want to connect. You can see my accounting. The accounting members, they don't need to enter their credentials. My sales, for example, and European users, they need to enter their credentials every time. So let's look at the user experience once we set up this. We can see David, part of our accounting team. Accounting don't require to enter credentials because we set up the Connect app to no. So I'm going to bring up my Connect app here, and here we go. David's profile is here. I'm going to toggle the switch, and we should get connected without entering credentials. And here we go, we're connected. So let's disconnect this, and we had our sales members that they had to enter their credentials every single time. And we can see here Emma and Ella, they're both part of sales team. So let's bring up Connect app, and let's look for one of their profiles. Here we go. Emma's profile is here. I'm going to toggle the switch, and we should get prompted for authentication. And here we go. Authentication needed. Let me bring up the browser here. We need to type the username and password to get connected. And we're connected. So just remember that the default settings is on prior auth timeout, which means users won't be prompted for credentials within 12 hours following a successful authentication.